overall, how do you think the distinction will be when you look at digital assets as a play? There are multiple sort of buckets that will emerge in it. Clearly, Bitcoin's broken apart and needs its own space. It's the digital gold, its store of value is no longer at all a mode of payment or transfer value, any of that. It's digital gold purely. Okay, so it's moved there. Then there's this whole bunch of digital assets which are largely in the utility space, all the projects, products being built underneath and issuing tokens, and that's going to be the big part of how when we do the comparison between equities and tokens. So that's one part. The second part. The third is all everything around. Let's call them the culture casino side of it, the memes and stuff like that. There's a bunch of it. How do you see this spectrum of buckets within digital assets?
So, when you say these three buckets are built by people who understand crypto. People understand. How I look at it is, Bitcoin is your store of value, and the other 10,000 coins are seeing to it that that store of value remains protected and usable.
Hmm.
So this is Bitcoin, Ethereum,
Mm-hmm.
wrapping it up, giving value to it, transferability, and number of things which build value to it. And then the third one is, which you said, meme coins. Meme coins are in stock markets known as penny stocks. Wolf of Wall Street Jordan Belfort used to sell them. There's nothing new. Meme coins is nothing new to the world. People come to these meme coins. People came to those penny stocks because they wanted to do 100x. It's a Ponzi scheme. This is for a knowledgeable person like you. For a retail person, there's Bitcoin, and everything else is a meme
Hmm.
coin. Because they see, for someone who understands what a smart contract is and understands that Ethereum is a smart contract platform that could only do 5 transactions a second, and
Hmm.
Solana can do 100 transactions a second. Example, these are examples, and so he can do 10,000. He understands the utility perspective. But
Yeah.
90% of the people don't understand what Ethereum does. They don't understand what WorldCoin does.
Yeah.
So
No,
think
that's
about.
true. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for them, the buckets are two: Bitcoin, store of value, and rest all is just a meme coin. But as gradually they will start understanding, for example, this is when you asked me my feedback from investor feedbacks, and there was no presentations open. We don't need to open a presentation because first they need to understand this industry. And my whole point was, they said, can you explain me a use case? And my use case was, in India you have the Aadhaar card, and Aadhaar card was created to stop stealing, and you had the biometrics taken, a card and a bank account linked to it, and government was sending subsidies. This is use case. He says, yeah, I understand use case. I said, in the world of AI, where you don't know Sri is on the other side of the camera, or if it's an AI that is I'm talking to, Sam Altman, who built ChatGPT, understood the value of identity, and he created a coin known as WorldCoin, which basically takes your biometrics and puts what do you call it, into a hash rate, and that hash rate verifies that it is you as a person. So the whole ecosystem runs on that whole use case of identity proving yourself, as well as people who are taking this identity getting paid in it. So point is, it is about people understanding these use cases. Till they don't, it is all a meme coin game.
Hmm. No, so I think that's absolutely true, and which is why that maturity of the space is important. Getting not same rotating capital of crypto, but outside capital to come in, TradFi capital to come in, which is going to be a more mature capital in many ways, getting institutional capital to come in, which will drive the whole understanding. I think that's one journey which has begun. But as an investor yourself, or even as somebody who is a sort of a key component of the ecosystem, as an in ecosystem, by that I mean digital assets ecosystem, looking at not just VC investing but liquid and getting into fund of funds. What's your thesis around how digital assets will break up into, what are the different kinds of tokens or subclasses within digital assets? I mean, it's very easy. We know Bitcoin, and there's the rest of it, and it's very easy also to divide all the the culture driven stuff like NFTs, memes, and stuff like that. But there's a whole distinction between this, what we refer to as the utility tokens as well, governance tokens, and all of that stuff. But as an asset class, how do you look at it differently, or do you need to look at it differently?
I think yes, we should look at it. And for me, there are two critical ones. Keeping Bitcoin to the side, there will be two critical ones that will come up into place. One is the infrastructure. In the end, to have a robust Web3 ecosystem, you need an infrastructure. You need people to have 100 million transactions to match something like a Visa or a Mastercard network. So unless till you are running on 5 transactions a second on Ethereum, you're not going to land up over there. So the one part is the infrastructure play. It includes layer ones, layer twos. It includes wallets. It includes every, like I've invested in one of the companies known as Web3 Auth, which sees to it that you don't need a seed phrase to make a wallet. So
Yeah.
one is the wallet infrastructure part, where it will become seamless for you to transact on Web3. And the second part is which will get the users on board. And then you have amazing highways in Dubai, but unless there are no cars, those highways are of no value. So the point is, how do you get users on board? Users on board will come from certain segments. Gaming is one such segment. And then people get addicted to games because there are amazing games. It's about making these amazing games, and if people derive some value out of it, great. You own your digital assets in the game. You own your avatars in the game. So one is gaming, one is DeFi. Today Aave is having $28 billion in liquidity locked over there for lending, borrowing. World's 64 biggest bank. But there's much more space in this because this is a cross-border bank. Tomorrow, someone in Zimbabwe can use Aave to earn a 6% yield. So when is lending, borrowing will be seriously, in my personal opinion, important. Identity will be critically important. You have to today we say we have x number of wallets, but there's no verifiable. One wallet is not one person. We have to verify people. So identity will be critical. Real world assets would be critical. I have this house, for example. I need to get it on chain and generate liquidity against it, generate yields on it. So real world will become really a big play. So these are 4 or 5 key segments there are multiple ones, but I think these 4 or 5 will definitely be important. People do derivatives, people do a number of other stuff over here, which might be important, but I am still more focused on real adoption, what real people, stable coins as well, which people can use over a period of time. That are the segments. So one would be infrastructure, and one will be things that will get people to that infrastructure.